Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Investing and Trading Live. My name is Josh Villquist. Today is Wednesday, August 30th. We are about 8:44. We are now in Central Time Zone, so it's 8:44, not 7:44 today, but the market is open. And today we're going to do a quick market update. After yesterday's monster move in the market, there was some data that came out here this morning with the ADP non-farm employment change, and that was down, which is kind of sparking the markets a little bit of strength again, which means basically the Fed interest rates, that's working. So that is what is moving the market here today, according to the news outlets, quote unquote. So today, no other major news here today. We do have the prelim GDP quarter over quarter. That was at 8:30 as well. That was down. So nothing other really that's notable to talk about as far as events. Tomorrow we have core PCE price index month over month, and also unemployment claims tomorrow. Unemployment claims forecasted to increase, and core PCE price index projected to stay the same. And then Friday, rounding out the week, September 1st, we will have a few things that could move the market at 8:30 a.m. and then something potentially at 10, but nothing after that. So that's kind of the news update of the week here. So we're going to do that today. We're going to do the market update with the indexes, stocks, Forex if you get a chance. We will probably not scan for options today. There just wasn't a whole lot yesterday, and there's no more volatility today. Probably won't look at a whole lot of that. And then we may hit a topic from a request from our listeners. So that being said, let's do our market update. We look at the S&P 500. We look at the ETFs just because people kind of know what that is for the major markets. The S&P 500 currently at 450.12, up about 0.21% on the day, which is about $1 on the day. That one continuing to climb off of the lows from the 18th of this month. And did not get down to our demand zone that we've had marked out, and we've been talking about this, if you look at the archives, for probably 2 to 3 weeks at least. Did not get down there, so it is showing that there is a lot of buying pressure around that area of 430, around that area, $430 per share. So that is the S&P 500 ETF. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, the diamonds. Also, that one's a little stronger on the day, about 0.5% up on the day, currently at 350.35, up about $1.64. And the Qs, which is the NASDAQ, the QQQ, to be exact, this one actually showing a little bit of weakness here today. So these markets, these major indexes have not been correlating 100%, and they don't have to, quite frankly, but the NASDAQ is down a little bit on the day, currently at 374.38 after yesterday's monster move as well, passing the highs from that mark of last week. So that being said, a little bit inverse correlations. The IWM, same story, down 0.10% on the day, 19 cents, which is currently at 188.06. So this one is down on the day. It gapped lower, but it's showing some strength. So it's looking a little more like the S&P 500 and the Dow, but yet it is down on the day, but showing strength after the open. Any major notables on ETFs? Nothing moving too much except for oil is up almost 1% on the day, continuing to climb. We are going to see this at our gas pumps, unfortunately, but currently at 74.01, gapping up higher on the day because it closed yesterday around the 473.29 area and showing some strength out of the open. So oil is continuing to rise. XLE, which is probably going to show the same story. The energy sector, same thing, gapped up and is showing some current strength right now. Everything else is up about 0.5%. So almost all major ETFs up except for esports, which we talked about yesterday, which had a great move yesterday, but currently gapping lower and hasn't moved a whole lot. Currently at $54.06 per share. Volatility index continuing to slump, currently at 1440 and getting down to the lows, near the lows of that range from May all the way until August. So we are seeing volatility to decrease, which means we will probably continue to see stocks to rise. But, I don't have a crystal ball, so who knows what will happen. Oil, which is, the USO was the ETF for oil. The current oil price is at $81.75 per barrel, up about 0.75% on the day. Bitcoin, after the monster move yesterday, is down a little bit today, down about 1.5%. So yesterday, what had happened was Grayscale, which was in a battle with the SEC, won that battle. And that was yesterday's news. Today's news, Ripple sells million of XRP as SEC law loses to another crypto giant. Okay, so whatever. Bitcoin insider trading suspicious takes root following Grayscale win. What's happening? I have no idea. Bitcoin whales, sharks handsomely reward after Grayscale's victory against the SEC, Securities Exchange Commission. All right. Well, that's your Bitcoin update. I do want to take a peek at HNT, which is helium, currently down on the day after yesterday's positive move, but yet still consolidating around the $1.70 to $1.50 area. We hope to see that break a little higher than that, but we will see what happens moving forward. We are currently coming out a little bit of a demand area, so hopefully that continues to go up, but we will monitor that as the days go by. That is your crypto update. Let's go look at stocks. Okay, so we have a few stocks that are moving a little bit. Schwab is up about over 1%. Other than that, with the market only open for 20 minutes here, still not a whole lot of movement. Upstart up little, just ever so slightly. Nike up. Dick's Sporting Goods down about 0.5%. So the overall market hasn't really moved a whole lot, other than the indexes have shown a little bit of movement and oil. But as far as the stocks that we peek at, there's just not a whole lot of movement other than, I guess, Apple. That's up 1% on the day, continuing to rise from those lows of about $172 per share. So was that just a pullback, and is that going to continue to increase and create more all-time highs? Well, we will wait and find out. But it is getting close to closing that gap where it gapped down from 187 to 190, that $3 area where it gapped. It is nearing that area, and we'll look to see if it closes that gap or if that continues this little downtrend over the past month. Actually, exactly about a month. Although, a notable stat that I saw here is as far as September being the worst month for stocks, what was it? The average rate of return was negative something in September for stocks. So we will see if that's actually the case this year. But we saw the drop a little bit towards the end part of the latter part of August. And we'll see if September actually shows that drop continuing as we move into the month of September, starting on Friday. So that is some of the major stocks. Let's go into Citibank, currently at $41.81, continuing to slump. And they almost reached that low from October of last year, so about a year of sideways action, really, with Citibank. I don't see any major supplier demand zones near current price. So Caterpillar up almost 1%, 0.96 to be exact, after that pullback for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and increasing up to 282.78. So that is your stock market update. Let's go look at our currencies. We talked about currencies, I believe it was yesterday. We had some opportunities with the U.S. dollar yen, the dollar yen continuing to rise, but still right at that 145.64 area, at that hesitation mark that it's dropped from, or coming down from the 147.50. No, 146.75. So that one continuing to go up, so that's still in play. We had an Australian dollar, I believe, Aussie dollar move, I believe, since that was short the market, and that is coming up a little bit. Nope, that would have been a stop out. So for those of you that would have traded that on the dimes theory, would have got stopped out. So now we are in wait and see mode, still in a short bias. We'll wait till it gets up to 66.75. Dollar Swiss franc. That one also in a short bias and hitting target there. So that one looks good. Actually, no, that one's in wait and see mode. We did not get up to our entry point of 89.25 to short the market. We just didn't get up there. So wait and see mode if you get a close below 86.75 or we get a touch up at 89.26, 89.25. Aussie yen, also in a bullish bias, hitting target yesterday. Actually, today between right around 4 a.m. the way it looks, between 4 and 8 a.m. So that one hitting target. Actually, probably about 7:30 is what it looks like when the target hit there at 95 even. So that one is now closed, and we are in wait and see mode until we get to 93.25 or a close above 95.74 for a continuation of this bullish move here. New Zealand yen also in wait and see mode. New Zealand dollar, that one we are also nearly a 60 cent mark, so nothing to do there. So that's your currency update for the day. So one of the things I want to talk about on one of the next upcoming shows here is the decision process with that. We've been talking about different characteristics recently with being coachable, disciplined, and decisive. And boy, sometimes decisive is that hardest thing, and that's the hardest one for people to overcome, is being decisive in the financial markets, because everybody is so set in their own ways, and it's sometimes not necessarily being stubborn, but just not wanting to act and take action. And we talked about the definition of poor last week, which is passing over opportunities regularly. So in one of the upcoming segments here, I want to get into the market psychology of decision processes and ways you can overcome that challenge of being able to make decisions or not being able to make decisions. So we're going to cover that in one of the upcoming segments here. I'll get that prepared, and we'll cover that probably next week. So that is your overall stock market update. It is Wednesday here, the 30th, and we got one more trading day for the month, and we'll see what happens, what September brings, if it's the September doldrums or the September, I don't know, I can't think of a word for that. That being said, protect your losses when they're small and take your profits when they're given to you. Until next time, retire young, my friends.